The Church Growth and Giving Show, your resource for growing faithful communities. Brought to you by Vanco, helping tens of thousands of churches thrive for over 20 years. Join Jordan and Andy as they share insights drawn from decades of church giving and engagement expertise.
Welcome back to the Church Growth and Giving Show. Today we're tackling church attendance with solid tactics for attracting and keeping people in your pews.
This is more than just get more people in the door. It's about building a community that people want to be a part of, where they can grow spiritually, connect with others, and contribute to something meaningful.
Before we dive into the how, let's start with the what. The data is pretty sobering. Pew and Gallup both show that church attendance has been trending down for decades. In fact, in 1999, around 70% of Americans said they belonged to a house of worship. By 2021, that number dropped to 47%.
And only 28% say they regularly attend services now. That's a big shift. It's not that people have stopped caring about faith or meaning. Many just aren't finding what they need in traditional church models.
Which brings us to our first tactic: assess your church's current state. This is like taking a spiritual pulse. What's working, what's not, and where are people falling off?
You can't grow what you don't measure. We're talking attendance tracking, member surveys, and feedback groups. Not just data for data's sake, but data that guides action. And you know what's powerful? Just asking, what's missing for you here, can unlock so many insights.
I love that. And from there, you got to set bold goals, not vague stuff like let's grow, but something specific and measurable like we want to increase attendance by 25% in 6 months. That's a smart goal.
SMART, as in specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. Without that framework, efforts get scattered. And pair those goals with a mission and vision that inspire. A strong why fuels a lot of how.
Totally. And once your compass is set, the next big move is revamping worship. Let's talk about that because too many churches are still offering services that don't resonate with modern audiences.
It's true. I'm not talking about changing doctrine or watering down faith, but about how churches deliver the experience, blending traditional hymns with modern worship songs, using multimedia, creating space for testimonies and interaction. All of that matters.
Don't forget online services. Post-pandemic, hybrid worship isn't optional, it's expected. So many people connect digitally before they ever set foot in the building.
Yes, and digital worship isn't just for convenience. It's outreach for shut-ins, travelers, and seekers. And if you're going online, go in fully. Invest in decent sound, lighting, and a camera setup that doesn't feel like an afterthought.
I want to delve more into something you mentioned: engaging sermons. It's not just about what's preached, but how, right?
You're right. Messages should be applicable and grounded in Scripture, but also wrapped in stories, examples, and relevance. People don't just want truth, they want truth that fits their daily life.
That's so true. And you know what else matters? The vibe. Lighting, visuals, the atmosphere. It all creates a welcoming setting.
The whole experience, from walking in to walking out, sets the tone for whether someone returns.
Let's roll right into the next strategy: digital presence. After all, a church without a solid website today is like a home with no front door. People check your site before they check out your service.
It's the digital handshake, and it doesn't have to be fancy or expensive. Platforms like Wix or WordPress can do the job, especially if you use church-specific templates. But the key is having the right pages: giving, events, sermons, and welcome info for newcomers.
All of those, and that giving page. That's not just for convenience. It tells people what kind of impact their generosity makes. It answers, why should I give here? And I love the idea of linking that page all across the site to keep it easy to find.
I totally agree. And if your church has more than one location, give each campus its own space online. Clear directions, times, contact info, and even a Google map embedded right there. It removes friction, which is half the battle.
Now, let's jump to social media. This one's huge. Everyone is online. Stats say 72.5% of US adults are on social media, averaging over 2 hours a day. If you're not there, you're invisible to a lot of people.
And it's not enough to just be there. Platforms like Facebook have really limited organic reach now. Posts only hit maybe 5% of your followers unless you pay to boost. That's why video is key. YouTube is gold for churches.
What's great is that you can take your sermon, post the full thing to YouTube, and then clip it for TikTok and Instagram Reels. You get more reach without creating a mountain of new content.
And to help with that, we've seen churches use social media kits that come with ready to use posts, seasonal content, and even AI powered tools to generate captions. That frees up your team for actual ministry.
Email is another overlooked gem. People still check their inboxes every day. It's personal, it's direct, and when done well, it feels like a lifeline to your church community.
Absolutely. A well crafted weekly email with sermon previews, events, and maybe a story or prayer request keeps people connected. You can also personalize segments. New visitors get welcome notes. Volunteers get updates on needs. Members get devotionals or reminders.
Let's talk volunteers. I know churches run on the power of volunteers, but sometimes we forget they need love too.
They really do. Start with clear roles. Don't just say we need help. Say what the job is, what kind of person fits, and how long the commitment lasts. People are way more likely to say yes when they know what they're signing up for.
And once they're in, train and equip them. Don't just throw them into the deep end. Pair new folks with experienced ones and offer online resources or short workshops. That shows you value their time and want them to succeed.
Also, be sure to celebrate them. A thank you note, a mention during service, a shout out on social, those small touches go a long way. Volunteers who feel seen are more likely to stick around and invite others.
Caring about people always makes sense. One of the biggest connection builders I've seen is events. Not services, not Bible studies, events where people just get together, have fun, and feel like part of something.
They're powerful. Community picnics, movie nights, health fairs, even just coffee hours with purpose. These create entry points for people who might not show up on a Sunday morning but are curious.
And using ticketing, even for free events, helps track who came and gives you a way to follow up, which is super helpful when it's time to invite them back.
Exactly. Events aren't just fluff, they're relationship incubators. And speaking of relationships, let's talk youth ministry. Because if we're serious about long term growth, we've got to connect with the next generation in ways that matter to them.
It sounds cheesy, but they're the future. For teenagers, it's not just the sermons, it's the small groups, the mission trips, the goofy games, all of it. There's something powerful about knowing this place gets me.
And that's what effective youth ministries do. They create environments where kids feel seen and valued. You want small groups by age, youth led worship services, even retreats that blend fun with faith. These moments anchor spiritual identity.
And don't forget digital tools. Gen Z is wired into their phones. Use polls during youth night. Let them co create content like videos, podcasts, and devotionals. It gives them ownership and a voice.
Right. Springtide research shows that 74% of Gen Z engage with faith online. So churches that aren't leveraging that digital space are missing out on a huge connection opportunity.
And beyond youth, communication across the whole church needs to be intentional. When churches get quiet or chaotic with communication, people start feeling left out.
That's why building a communication strategy is critical. It's not just about announcements, it's about alignment. Email, mobile apps, and newsletters all work better when tied together.
Mobile apps are a game changer. I've seen churches use them as their communication HQ. Service info, giving, sermon archives, event signups, small group chats, all in one place. That's sticky engagement.
And you know what ties all of this together? Strong leadership. Churches that grow are led by people who are still learning, still investing in themselves. Leadership development isn't a luxury, it's a necessity.
And there are so many free resources out there, guides, coaching programs, and tools that help pastors sharpen vision and stay energized.
Which leads us into modern marketing. We talked about websites and social media already, but SEO is a big one too. If someone searches churches near me, your name needs to show up.
And that means claiming your Google business profile, collecting reviews, posting location specific content, all the stuff that helps people find you before they even meet you.
And if you qualify, Google ad grants are incredible. We're talking up to $10,000 a month in free ads. That's no joke. You can use that to promote Easter services, community events, your youth program, whatever's most relevant.
I'm loving how all of this ties back to one big idea: meet people where they are, both spiritually and practically. And that means measure what matters.
You need to track attendance trends, see who's coming back, and know where people drop off. Ask for feedback. Use that data to tweak and adapt. The churches that do this well thrive because they're responsive.
And they don't stop learning. That's what I appreciate most about Vanco's free guide. It ends with over 400 free resources for churches: templates, strategies, planning kits, everything from volunteer management to event ticketing.
It's a full toolbox. And honestly, no one has to do this alone. The resources are out there, the community is out there, and the mission is worth every effort you make.
Couldn't agree more. If you're listening and wondering where to start, just pick one tactic we talked about today. Start small, be consistent, and trust that growth follows intentionality.
And remember, attendance is a number, but belonging is the goal. Build a church where people feel known, needed, and loved, and the numbers will follow.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Church Growth and Giving Show. For all the guides and resources we mentioned, check out the episode description. And if this helped you, share it with another church leader who could use a boost. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more great content like this to help you lead and grow your church. See you next time.